What it's really about is I got to start, I got to commit recording, and I got to keep doing this time and time again, and I'm going to get better and better as I go. For the long haul, what does my podcast look like? 3 to 5 years. For me, it's about helping people tell better stories. And so the longer term play for me is to help you be able to see you have an opportunity to really capitalize on building an amazing brand, an amazing story. You have a product or service or something to offer the world. What's up, guys? Welcome back to Built to Tell. I am Mike Liguori. Thank you so much for stopping by. Now, before I get into today's episode, go ahead and hit that subscribe button and click on that notification bell if you are watching on YouTube. But if you're listening to this on Apple and Spotify, go ahead and hit that follow button. I greatly appreciate it. And today we are going to continue our mini series, The Creator's Mindset, with today's episode about consistency. Now, you have heard so many people talk about the importance of a consistency, but I'm going to take it from a different lens this time because consistency is a great thing. I think being consistent in producing really quality content in your podcast, again, I don't know what the word I would use for this, but let's say I'm just reformed when it comes to being a podcast restarter, so to speak. I have seen the light because I have restarted my podcast multiple times just because I was in different seasons of my life. And consistency was always the hardest thing for me. And once I was able to really get it dialed in from a principles approach on why consistency really matters when you're making video content online and when you are creating your own podcast, it really shifted everything. And so today we're going to be talking about consistency from a different lens. So the thing about consistency, and I'm going to paraphrase the great James Clear in Atomic Habits with this quote, that you don't rise to the level of your content, you fall to the level of your consistency. So I kind of paraphrased James Clear a little bit, but it's really approaching consistency from this idea that you're showing up and through the reps that you're creating content, the better that you're going to get. And then the better that you're going to get, the more valuable your content becomes. And then you start looking at the data and then you start analyzing what's been working, what's not working. Why are people watching your stuff? Why are they leaving after a couple minutes? You start getting into the nuances of all of that. And I think it's really important that we look at consistency from this idea that I am taking reps just like I would be swinging a baseball bat or shooting three-pointers, using those types of sports analogies, throwing passes down the field. The more that you do that from a volume play, the better that you're going to be. And it's not so much about doing consistent, high output creative work right off the bat. What it's really about is I got to start, I got to commit recording, and I got to keep doing this time and time again, and I'm going to get better and better as I go. And I am going to podcast for the long haul. My 3 to 5 year window is, what does my podcast look like 3 to 5 years from now? And I'll give you a little inside look into kind of why I'm doing this podcast. For me, it's about helping people tell better stories. And so the longer term play for me is to help you on the other side of this screen be able to see that you have an opportunity to really capitalize on building an amazing brand, an amazing story, and you have a product or service or something to offer the world. And the way that you're going to do that from the year 2025, which you're in now for the foreseeable future, is learning how to tell stories, learning how to build trust, learning how to connect with people all across the world, and allowing yourself to show up as your authentic self and to show some vulnerability and to communicate effectively. The only way you can do that is through consistency. The other thing about consistency is so vital to the YouTube recommendation engine. It's vital to the algorithm. It's vital to your users because you want to signal to YouTube specifically that the more content that you post on a consistent basis, and then this isn't really about a volume play, this is more just about a consistent basis. Every Tuesday or every Wednesday at 9 o'clock, your episode launches, or 3 shorts, 4 shorts, 5 shorts a week, every time at 12 p.m. That type of consistency, 1, builds repetition in your mind. 2, you start training your prospective viewers to receive your content at that exact time. So they expect and they look forward to it. And it gets you into the rhythm and the cadence of knowing that you have video content that you need to film, which means it helps you backwards plan the rest of your week making your day with all the other stuff that you got going on as a business owner. To kind of tie it back to, my vision for that is I am working on batch recording. I am working on planning out my content episodes. I am working on creating mini-series. I'm working on creating different formats and ideas. And I believe through this art of consistent repetition, I am going to find things that work really, really well. And I'm going to find things that don't work well. And that's why I love this approach of consistency, because this type of consistency, not just to get into favor of the algorithm, but for me to train myself in being able to deliver on a consistent basis for me so I can learn, so I can create, so I can do things faster and better all the time with the intention that this is going to be something that I do for the foreseeable future, is recording content, being able to do multiple episodes at a time, training that muscle to be able to record 4, 5, 6 podcast episodes every single day and just start cranking out content. And again, this isn't about like flooding people's timelines. This is about me learning from the at-bats that I take, from the reps that I get, from the free throw attempts, from the three-point shots that I take all the time. It trains me and gets me into this rhythm and this cadence of here's how you deliver the episode, here's how you structure it, here's how you frame everything from the search that you did. Here's exactly how you speak to people. This is all the stuff that I'm doing from a consistency basis. And so it's really important in this shift number 2 for this mindset series that we're doing called the Creator's Mindset, that you look at consistency as a strategy for you to get better. This is not something that, again, is a requirement. This is, if I want to get better, I need to be more consistent. If I want to get better, I need to do this for me so I can learn faster, so I can get more data, so I can make adjustments and go. When you start playing this game of, oh, it's a requirement, I have to post all the time, and you don't know why you're doing this, it's not tied to a larger vision, you don't really know your intention of being consistent on YouTube all the time, you're really going to put yourself in, I would probably call like this procrastination period. Yeah, I know I need to post content every single week, but I'm hungry. But my favorite show on Netflix is on right now and I can just record this later. And those are the things that will be incredibly detrimental to your content and to your success. So this is how I would approach consistency for you. And if you're struggling with consistency, you really want to watch this part here or listen to this. 1, the power of rituals is going to be really incredible for you, which means I need to build routine and I need to cultivate willpower, which means saying no to the things that I want to do and saying yes to the things that are going to help me get bigger and better and bolder things in the future. So it's saying no to going to get food and watching a Netflix show and saying yes to, I'm knocking out these 4 episodes that I've been writing scripts to or planning out, and then I will go reward myself. It's that reverse engineering of you going from, I'll do this later, to I'm going to do this right now, even when I don't feel like it. And that routine will really create those rituals where you can pick the same time every day to sit down, record content, know that that's the time and space that you need to do that, and start cranking it out. And again, on the receiving end of that, you get data, you get analytics, you get to really truly understand what your audience wants from you. The other thing that I'll suggest to you to making this type of shift is start thinking of your content from a more thematic lens. So many people, what they do is they create content by sitting down in this chair, turning on a camera like you see here and going, oh, I know what I'm going to talk about today. I met this old lady at this grocery store and we had this great story and I'm going to share with you about how that's going to help you make more money. Great story, great effort, great idea, not fully fleshed out, probably not going to do well. So sometimes when it happens with creators, they haven't really fully fleshed out what's in it for the viewer and how could they bring value and build a relationship with them. So while you may think that story is great, the other person on the other side of the screen may not. So what I would suggest that you do is move to a thematic approach, meaning like this mini series. I'll give you a great example. I was recording content last week, and it came across my mind that I needed to do something around mindset and around helping creators have a better mindset when it comes to their content, because I've seen it all. It's procrastination, it's burnout, it's nobody's watching my shit, and like, why am I not getting business from YouTube? Like, please for the love, or my podcast, like, please for the love of God, help me. I've seen it all. So I wanted to put together a mini series. I don't think I would have ever gotten the idea for this mini-series unless I was creating content at a different time and place, because I realized that people need to have some mindset shifts that come around creating better content. And so the series that we're going through today, themes that you can look at One, what are your content pillars? And if you don't know what content pillars are, we'll get into that into another episode about how to structure content. But just to give you the lay of land in that, your content pillars are the things that you like talking about. And these are the things that you know about, and these are the things that you want people to know about you. Those content pillars can be turned into themes. So if you are a money coach, you can talk about money mindset, which is a great topic. You can talk about financial planning. You can talk about budgeting. These are things that you can draw out into thematic pieces of content, and you can do mini series around them. You can do quarterly content around it. So you might say for Q2, we're going to do an entire next 12-week sprint around financial budgeting or investing or buying Bitcoin, whatever it is. You can play with those types of content to really help you make sure that you're more consistent and you dial in the type of routine. And the last thing I'll say, really writing out scripts is incredibly helpful for you. Coming up with outlines, thinking of ideas and bullet pointing things that you want to talk about and letting your personality shine more. That is going to allow you to set up a framework that when you sit down, you turn on the camera and you turn on the mic, that you can just deliver exactly how you are and who you are. So takeaway from this is that consistency is really not about you just throwing content up there to post content. It's really about you establishing a routine and a ritual. So you can learn from the amount of reps that you take by recording content. And let's face it, some of your content is not going to be that great. Some of your content is not going to be the best online. That's okay. The more reps that you put in on a consistency basis, the better that you are going to get. And imagine what you're going to be like a year or two from now when you have so much better content. You can speak off the cuff completely. You can make your big ideas and distill them down into action items so that when people watch your content, they're really, truly blown away. So thank you for tuning into this episode of Built to Tell. If you like what you saw, go ahead and hit that subscribe button and click on that notification bell. I greatly appreciate it, and I greatly appreciate you for your time today. I will see you in the next episode. Take care.